Hey guys, what's up? It's me, the Meteor Raptor, and you know what time it is. It's time for another movie review. So, today, I'm going to take a look at a 2016 animated Disney movie. That movie is Zootopia. Or Zootropolis. It's called Zootopia, but I watched it on a plane on my trip to Africa, and they called it Zootropolis, and in fact, every time a character said the name, it was Tropolis instead of Topia. I don't know why, but whatever. Let me start by saying, great movie. And I've heard people say that ever since Frozen or Wreck-It Ralph, frankly I believe it's Wreck-It Ralph, Disney has started a second Disney Renaissance. For those of you who don't know, the Disney Renaissance was consisting of when they came out with hit after hit after hit. Things like Beauty and the Beast, The Lion King, what was that other? Oh, Little Mermaid, Hercules, I think. I know I'm missing a few there, but it was sort of a time a long time ago when essentially Disney could make no bad movie. Then they made Cars. Well, that was the first bad Disney movie I remember seeing. Then they made Cars 2. And now they're making Cars 3. Do you get what I'm saying? So, Disney, in recent years, maybe in the past 10 years, they've been having a very spotty record with critics and fans alike. They've tried to make good movies, but it hasn't always worked. And then they made Wreck-It Ralph, which is one of my all-time favorite, if not my all-time favorite animated movies ever made, and easily my favorite Disney movie ever made. Then, they made Frozen, and we all know how much money Frozen made. Then, they made Big Hero 6. And that movie was awesome. I loved Big Hero 6. Then, did they make something else? I'm trying to remember. They made The Good Dinosaur, and that was sort of the stumble within the pack, but Zootopia now totally makes up for The Good Dinosaur. Let me start by saying perhaps its strongest attribute for the whole movie comes right from its writing. And the writing, there are three really strong parts to it. Our plot, our characters, and our overall message. Now, before you guys kind of think, oh great, he's going to talk about all the implied stuff about tolerance, racism, all that stuff, I'm not here to talk about that because I could be here for days talking about what I believe on that. So, I'm just going to kind of sum it up all like this. This movie did a fantastic job taking a very controversial and a very touchy subject and working with it in a way that it's able to show both sides, the fear and the manipulation of it, but overall have a message of love and everyone is equal, which is amazing. I've seen movies which have tried and failed horribly. And humor also. That was the third point, actually. So, characters, plot, humor. Let's start with the plot. It seems to be a pretty basic Disney movie at first. About how Judy Hopps, although originally, fun fact here, Judy was supposed to be a boy, and we were supposed to follow Nick for the entire film, but people said they kind of thought the male version of Judy wasn't a strong enough character, and they didn't think following a thief, or whatever they called him originally, for 90 minutes would be very family-friendly. So, yeah, but they also did Aladdin. Look, my point is, it seems like a pretty basic movie about a cop bunny who becomes a cop having to come to terms with how the whole world seems to tell her that she can't do it. She can't become a cop. And yet how she has to rise up and just face the world for what it is and prove them wrong. And even after she becomes a cop, things aren't easier for her. Things are actually pretty tough for a bit. But even then, she continues to keep trying. And eventually, turns out that predators, which are stuff like wolves, foxes, polar bears, have started going savage. In other terms, they're going insane and they've been attacking people. So, she thinks she has a clue on it, but no one believes her, except for one person. The man who actually kind of used her at first. Yeah, it's a long story. I don't want to get into it because it's an amazing story with a couple really good twists, which I don't want to spoil here. So, pretty much, the story, the plot, it's really good. It is your pretty basic cop story of, things along the lines of Ride Along or Let's Be Cops with hey, yeah, we're cops, and everyone's like, oh, it's a joke. And then they end up being the ones who figure it all out. But it's also done in a unique way. It's done in a creative way this time. Another really strong part is the characters. Our main character, Judy, has some really, really strong life morals, like never give up. No matter what life throws at you, just work with it. Like, it's a really good message, especially in a kid's film. And a lot of kids' films I've been seeing recently, they've been kind of avoiding the whole message thing because they're too lazy to do it. They think, oh, fart jokes and stuff like that will make money. And then here's Disney, proving that fart jokes and things like that do make money, but so do really strong messages. And her character is extremely relatable to anyone who's ever had a trial in life, which people told them you couldn't do something and you had to rise up and prove them wrong. I've been through dozens of those, and this movie, that's kind of why it was really powerful to me. And our other main character, Nick, he's one of those likable jerks. It's how he seems to start. But as the movie goes on, he loses the whole jerk factor when you begin to realize just how much life has mistreated him. How what people are afraid of with the stereotypes, the lies, the stories, all those racism, like all the contrived things which people come up with when they're afraid to explain something, how when all that builds up in someone, it can destroy them. And he has a reason for doing what he does. Yeah, he's a con artist. Yeah, he's a thief. But it's not like life was really that easy to him. He just made with what he had, took what he had and made something out of it. Ironically, that's what I did with this channel. I don't want to talk about that, though. And also, another really good part about this movie is how they literally create an entire world with these anthropomorphic animals, and their main city has 4 parts to it, like tundra, jungle, normal, and desert. And I'd love to see more with like all these different places, because it could lead to some really creative ideas. And the main 2 characters, Nick and Judy, they fight a lot, but their chemistry together is amazing. And I think what else is amazing about this movie is the humor. This movie has spot-on humor. It has humor that makes fun of Disney itself, that makes some really risky jokes, which kids aren't going to get, but parents will laugh at. Guys, there's a Breaking Bad reference in here, and it is really funny. There's some great slapstick, there's some great visual gags. The writing is amazing. And you know what else helps complement this amazing writing? The amazing voice acting. All the voice actors in here, like Idris Elba, the main 2 whose names I keep forgetting, and Tommy Chong, those being the 2 guys I can remember, do an amazing job. And really, it's all the actors, they take their characters and become them. And it helps just feel like you're really there. It helps feel like it's not just a movie about talking animals. It feels a lot more like, yeah, it's a movie about talking animals, but you feel like you're with those talking animals. And by far, the best part of this whole movie is the animation. Let me put it this way. The animation is beautiful. It is clean, it is crisp, it is breathtaking, it is gorgeous to look at. It's some of the best that Disney has ever made. Soundtrack, we have a song by Shakira, or Gazelle as she's known in this world, which is pretty catchy, although it is kind of annoying after multiple hearings, like Let It Go. And no, I'm not apologizing for that. So, there's that. The score is great. The other couple songs we hear little bits and pieces of work well. And pretty much everything else, like all the technical stuff, is fine. The audio mixing is fine, the leveling is fine. All that stuff just works together to all around make this a fantastic movie. So can I recommend Zootopia? Oh yeah, 4 raptor claws out of 4. This movie is amazing. It is one of Disney's best movies. It is their best movie by far since Wreck-It Ralph. And frankly, I hope Disney takes this idea, like this level of quality, this level of care and love that was put into the movie, and they keep putting that into all their films to come. So you know what, guys? If you have not seen this movie, go out right now and see it. It'll make you laugh, it'll make you cry. It almost made me cry, but I was on a plane, so I didn't. But it is an amazing movie. I highly recommend it. And until next time, you guys, this is the Meteor Raptor saying keep cool, and I'll see you guys around. Later.